Green Knight's all alive.
Hi.
Get the hell out of my house.
But they're not in your house.
What?
Exactly.
It's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, except it makes more sense.
Anything that's not M. Night Shyamalan makes more sense. But anyway, this is now week 29 of the Rise of Runelords campaign.
Well,
And did we leave off with a pixie running into you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we said so, but I mean...
Yeah.
It was approaching. We didn't kill it for experience yet.
It was...
Yeah.
Theodora goes after it to eat it.
I mean, we literally left off with the sentence, a pixie approaches you. So...
Yeah. After you guys killed a pit fiend in order to save the town, but considering it's a devil, none of you feel any moral ambiguities towards that. And I'm sure there's no...
Repercussions for that.
Yeah. Because I think after 10,000 years, the pits of hell don't give a damn about that one pit fiend anymore. Whatever happened to Bob? He got summoned by some wizard.
Who's Bob?
Sorcerer. Because the Runelords did not have time to study. Yeah, because wizards study and sorcery. Whatever. Yeah. We left off with a pixie approaching the party as they were leaving the dam to head back to Turtleback Ferry.
Like I said, Theodora immediately perks up and tries to eat it.
So Theodora and this pixie are now pretty much flying around like crazy, and it's yelling for help in its tiny little voice.
And Lucy is trying to grab Theodora. And chaos ensues.
Does Lucy eventually ring away?
Eventually.
But it sparkles. I want to eat it.
Oh my god, these things are like crack.
Yeah, I know. I can't reach them because they're all the way over there.
Pixie crack. I need it.
Well, pixies do admit dust.
I need to snort that.
Wednesday Night Gaming does not condone the use of any snorting substance.
And seriously, don't snort sugar. That's just stupid.
I was about to ask if you're speaking from experience, but okay.
French class. That's all I'm saying.
Everything okay? You looked to be in distress.
No, it was excitement.
Okay.
Like...
Because I forgot at this level that it does get something else.
Oh.
So a nerd gas.
Yes.
Say hello to the deadly nerd gas. But instead of nerd gas coming out, it's your little robot friend that comes down the pipes. Anyway, after Lucy gets Theodora settled down, the pixie is now hiding in the tree branches, terrified. Please don't release the little dragon!
I am so sorry.
I mean you no harm. I'm here for help.
That's a hell of a thing.
My mistress is very, very ill. She was killed, but death did not end her suffering.
You're gonna have to back up. What's going on?
He starts speaking very quickly, to the point where he's almost out of breath.
Common!
What?
In common speak!
No, very quickly. He's still speaking in common. He's just
like when someone's explaining things that go over your head or explaining them really
Okay.
fast.
He takes a breath and starts over. The land sickens with her heart, and it cannot be cleansed until her misery is purged, and I cannot do this myself. Please, you must help her. You are friends with her human lover, are you not?
Hui McWhat?
Her human lover! You're humans? You know other humans?
And you assume that all humans just know all other humans, right?
Yes!
Racist.
He frowns at you.
Reverse racism! This is awesome!
Just let me take you to her. You can probably do something. I've tried everything to cure her heart, but to no avail. She wails and moans in the Whitewillow, and the trees and plants and all the animals. They're just growing sick and sick the more worse she gets.
Why is her heart sick?
Because her lover left her. We don't know where he is. And she was killed, of course. That kind of didn't help things.
That'll put a damper on things for sure. That'll put a damper on things for sure.
He kind of Stanton goes, how long has she been dead?
Weeks.
Oh, that shoots my idea.
What was
What was your idea?
Just raise her from the dead. But,
Will you please come?
Yes, we'll come. And Theodora?
What?
No eating the pixies.
Fine.
Alrighty. So, the pixie leads you across the river to the other side of the forest, where it said, to the other side of the forest here. On the other side of Claybottom Lake. Now, as you near the edge of the trees, you notice that they look a little, the trunks of the trees look a little darkened and twisted.
Knowledge nature. Give me a d20. Give me a d20.
Leary gets a 20. Oh, that would be 35.
19 and 35.
The both of you are very well aware that this forest is unnaturally dying and is being manipulated by very powerful nature magic.
Oh my. This isn't good at all, is it?
In fact, Leary can recognize that it's because of the nymph, or at least the ghost of the nymph, having an effect on the forest.
So, does this mean I have to exercise something, or?
You could attempt. I mean, it is a ghost after all.
But it is a ghost of nature.
And
Guy might have something to say about it.
if she's staying here, that means that's most decidedly not natural.
The pixie is waiting at the tree line for you all to follow.
I'm assuming we were talking as we were walking.
Oh, okay. So, you head on in, and you soon discover that this forest has also become swamp-like. So, the ground is, you're pretty much walking into a marshland now instead of a normal forest.
Nope.
So, there's puddles of water everywhere. The trees are either dying or damp. And you can hear the sounds of things scurrying about and feel that you're being watched, yet you see no other life around you.
We need to burn it.
Away, put your weapons on me, you no harm.
You just had to. And also, just because I just mentioned before, I want people to tell me what their characters' what their characters' take 10s on perceptions are, just so I can have that written down. So
29 for Lucy.
Okay.
19 for Theo.
Leary's take 10
yeah,
is a 12. Stanton's is a 27.
and
Kronk is 22. Or Kronk is 20. And Inez is 22.
alright, so I got those right there for safekeeping. Anyway, so this when you're all entered into this forest, the pixie quickly turns to you and says, "Do your best to stay close. Even when she was alive and happy and well, this forest was good at causing travelers to get lost and die. And now in its present state, just stay close."
You wouldn't happen to have had anything to do with those disappearances, would you?
Yeah. I waited till after I knew the bodies.
My kind of girl.
It's a he.
Yeah, this is actually he.
Her statement stands.
Now who's being the racist, Theodora?
I think that's called sexist.
You're saying that all fairies look, or that all pixies look feminine, which can be perceived as a racist
follower of the
statement.
god of death, does he ever fear imageries of death? So, everyone except Menendez, there are times as you're walking past trees and whatnot, you would swear out of the corner of your eye you would see a hooded figure reaching a skeletal hand towards you. But every time you look, it's just a tree limb. But either way, you all need to make will saves, because you see this very often and you could swear on everything you are that it is something reaching for you.
Lucy is clutching Krunk's arm.
Yeah, this is pretty much a fear effect.
Stanton gets a 31.
23 for Lucy.
Good
13
catch.
plus 5 for Theo.
So Theo just makes it 2. You're rerolling for Leary, I take it?
What do we need to be?
A 15.
Okay, that makes it. Just barely.
This is will save.
Yeah.
Leary got a 16, Stanton got a 31.
Kronk makes it.
He is bolstered by the fact that Lucy is so close.
I take care of Lucy.
Is that why you're patting your own arm?
She's got a hold of his
She's
arm.
clinging. Yeah.
So,
I was making a joke by the fact that you were patting your own arm.
Well, it wasn't very funny. So.
you all end up keeping yourselves from crapping your pants, but you continue seeing this.
No, we keep ourselves from feeling the fear effects. Some of us may crap our pants for completely unrelated issues.
You still continue seeing this as you get deeper into the forest. And as you start to near the center of it, if one of you happen to look behind you, you happen to see that you collected a train of ghostly images in the shape of animals that
Oh, I was going to say it's a man train.
that are for whatever reason following you, and after being noticed, just start to come up alongside and continue walking.
So is it like Princess Mononoke? We have all little forest spirits.
Cool!
I guess I've never seen it.
Get the fuck out of my house.
How have you never... Oh, it's amazing. You need to see it.
There's a lot of that director's movies that I need to see, but I haven't really gotten around to seeing.
Really, Princess Mononoke is the only one I really need to see.
I will stab you.
I've seen a few of those.
In fact, some of these ghosts start passing through everybody, and everyone needs to make those saves again.
Oh, he's slimed
Okay,
me.
don't do that.
He slimed me.
That's great! Actual physical contact!
Wait, what's...
It's a 6.
Are these fortitude or will save?
Will. From 6.
Yep.
What do we need to beat?
A 15.
Alright, Stanton makes it.
Lucy makes it.
And Leary makes it.
Oh.
So,
I don't think Theodora does not make it.
I'm going to forgo the negative energy damage of this, but Theodora and Krunk just get this glazed over look in their eyes and feel like they want to follow the party of ghosts in the other direction they start going. So Krunk and Theodora just suddenly start walking and following after them.
Guide, we apparently have someone who's walking off the tour.
He looks back
Krunk?
he looks back and he's
Theo?
like, oh no, and puts a powder of pixie dust right in their faces. And he smacks around Theodora since she's the only one small enough for his hand to even so much as affect.
Can she, like, snap at him?
Sure.
I don't know, buddy. It doesn't look like that worked the first time. You might have to give a second application.
Yeah, so she snaps at him, he jerks back like, okay, I think they're fine. Don't follow the lights.
Oh, I get it. It's like that thing.
Yeah. That thing and the thing and the other thing.
Yeah.
But they're so pretty.
Just come on, we're close to her meadow. So, after a couple more minutes of walking, the tangled swamp gives way to a relatively large clearing and a calm pool of unnatural still water ringed by twisted, decayed willow trees. Wind blows, but the trees do not sway. It is as if the very land itself has died. So, anybody with any form of nature connection just feels death all around them.
I don't like this.
And your little pixie friend pretty much stays at the edge of the clearing. Is like, this is her domain. If you don't mind, I'll kind of wait here.
I hate to point this out to you, buddy, but not many people have experience with this, sort of thing. We might need a little bit more than just saying, go forward. Any specific directions or advice or...
What do you think we can do to help?
Anything to quell her spirit, whatever angers her. If any of us get near her, she kind of influences us. I'm hoping that you all do not fall to that influence. She is a nymph. She's still a ghost, but she is still a nymph.
Lucy ties a blindfold around Crunk's eyes and kind of offers blindfolds to the other Other two. Man.
And it is. Says no.
Women can be affected by nymphs' beauties too, by the way.
So who's being the sexist one now, Lucy?
She ties the blindfold around herself.
So far we got 2 characters that have blinded themselves. I'm just waiting for you all to do whatever it is you're going to do.
And then she pauses, takes it off, blindfolds Theodora, and then re-blindfolds herself.
Yes, it's going to be incredibly easy to navigate a swamp with yourself blindfolded.
Like I say, you're all in a clearing staring at a pond right now, so there's nothing really to navigate.
Have you ever tried walking forward while blindfolded? It's not as easy as it looks.
Touche.
So, Leary and Stanton take people's hands, and they shield their own eyes from what's ahead so that they're only seeing a few feet in front of themselves.
When you near the pond, you hear it bubble, and as the ghost rises up from it, it lets out this banshee-like shriek. And since you're all covering your eyes from it, nobody has to make a save from its stunning beauty.
Woo!
But for player base, this is what she looks like. Her arms and legs are free-floating from her torso as if they've been ripped off from her.
So she's like Rayman?
Huh?
Like the video game character Rayman, he has like floating
Yeah,
hands and feet,
yeah.
and it looks really stupid. But
She looks upon all of you and kind of hisses and says,
we're averting our eyes, oh Lord.
"Oh, stop that! It's like those damn priests. It's so pathetic." I don't remember what the exact line was. And she's like, "You. It's your fault that Fort Raddick fell. Your fault that my lover was taken by the ogres."
Correction. We thought he was with you.
Silence! If he was with me, would I be in this state right now?
What I'm saying is maybe neither of us have the full story.
The ogres came when he arrived. They tore me limb from limb and threw me into the lake. And then they dragged him off to the mountain. And she points at Hook Mountain to the north. I've tried so desperately to resurrect him, but his soul will not go into any body that I offer. I know he is dead, but I do not know why he returns. There must be something holding his soul trapped.
So you want us to go
Perhaps
to...
it is life.
He is not alive. I know this.
Maybe instead of jumping to conjecture, we can try and follow the trail, see where he died, maybe who killed him.
I cannot leave this place.
I wasn't saying you.
How do you know he's dead?
I know it in my heart that he is. If he was alive, he would have been able to escape by now. He kills ogres for a living. Certainly a small band like that wouldn't have stood a chance against him.
Maybe there's more in the mountain.
Hence the reason why I believe his soul is held trapped. Those ogres were able to sneak into my woods unnoticed. Somebody magically hid them. That amount of power could hold a soul at bay.
So, do you have any idea as to where specifically on the mountain
Near the peak is where the Krieg ogres lie. In a cave of their ancient leader. If there's any place on the mountain he was taken, it would be there. Anybody with knowledge geography can roll to see just how high Hook Mountain is.
God damn it. With theory, I had the choice between picking up knowledge history or knowledge geography.
Druids have geography.
I have geography. I don't have a lot in it. No, I don't have anything
Could I
in it.
roll local for Kronk since he lives right next to it?
Sure.
22.
Hook Mountain is a 10,000 foot tall peak, and she's saying that the cave is near the peak, but not at the peak.
So,
Glad I have wings.
let's go.
All I need is at least a piece of him. A lock of hair, a finger, any remain whatsoever. And I can resurrect him properly.
I'm thinking about which piece we should put.
God damn it, man. God damn it, Will. I'm surrounded by dirty mind players.
His heart, right?
The penis is too obvious. What if we just brought back the butt?
This is what I deal with, people.
Sound good? Alright.
Do we have to bring back the whole butt, or could we bring just back like the left cheek?
Are you all saying this out loud?
No. I'm assuming this is something similar to a conversation he would have with his sword.
Probably. I'm good. It finally stopped updating. I can log on now.
Yeah, I can't even talk to him as his sword because he's not on the website. She goes, return, my beloved, to me. Return my commander, or I shall bind him with my vines, and my dark trees will eat this land and churn your people into bone and misery. And she descends back into the water.
You don't need to threaten us. Just saying.
Oh, but it's okay, because she's a nature spirit. Leary
So
does
it's
that
like-
to talk.
Roll20.net.
Theodora slaps Leary with her tail.
Oops.
Did I do that?
Stanton glares down Theodora behind the still emotionless mask. Want to try that again, lizard?
You want to rein in your girlfriend? Lizard?
Menendez interrupts and says, "Pardon me. I need your Wi-Fi password."
Hang on. Because I'm able to get that easily. Open network.
We evidently haven't been here since I wiped her computer. So.
I think he's crazy.
It's all numbers.
Number.
The network itself is called the Money Pit.
Okay, so I want money pit.
There's the password on my screen, so people at home will not miss it.
Letters. Numbers. What?
As Joe breaks his computer off.
Well, it's not his computer, it's his wife's computer.
Oh, that makes it so much better.
Yeah.
Joe will not be joining us anymore because he's apparently gone to some farm in Pennsylvania. Every kid in the world goes like, my pet was sent there once.
No, it's just a farm upstate.
Yeah.
Which, living here in state X, you really can't get much northern than this, so.
Yeah, you can only go into the next state over.
Yep.
So, yeah, she descends back into the water after saying that nice little threat.
I imagine there's like a collective sigh of the group. It's like, we're going to the mountain. Yeah, we're going to the mountain. Yeah.
We need to get blankets. Lots of them.
Yeah, you are attempting to ascend a 10,000-foot tall mountain. And it is the winter months.
And antifreeze for my wings.
Well, it is a lizard. I wonder if dragons are cold-blooded, even the fire-breathing ones.
I would think so.
I would think that
but
because
then,
they're fucking magic, it doesn't matter.
Well, but then there are silver dragons and white dragons that make their home in the snow.
I would think that because they're fucking dragons.
Oh, shut the hell up. So, where do you all go? So, your pixie friend needs you back out of the woods.
Hey, do you know someplace that sells blankets?
There is the town. And he points towards the direction of Turtleback
We
Ferry.
head back to Turtleback Ferry.
Da 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 da.
So,
Down
there's...
here, could we hang out a little while and spend some gold to have Krunk's axe magically enhanced?
Sure.
Who's gonna offer that sort of service in town?
Turtleback Ferry
It's
is
just a
still...
plus one that he needs.
Yeah.
It's always readily available in Pathfinder. It's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
It's-
Turtleback Ferry is still in the midst of cleaning up and figuring out what to do since they're all basically refugees
Alright,
until
milk,
their houses get fixed and everything.
milk, butter,
Anybody who's
eggs.
anybody
plus
who
one
has
for-
shit still capable of being sold is selling them at a discounted price in order to get the inventory off their backs and get whatever money they can.
So you could like totally get a Nintendo DS for $20.
Yes.
Awesome. I did that once at a yard
This-
sale.
I think
Great.
This
there's
fell from a hole that opened in the sky. It flips open and this thing lights up. And it shows the words Super Mario Brothers.
No, it's Super Mario Bros.
Yes, that. $50.
What are bucks?
50 gold.
I think I have
It'd be expensive for a DS.
And then the battery dies after one day of use.
Right.
You have what?
like a spell that can help crops grow or something somewhere.
I think so, yeah.
So I'll be helping with that. Plant growth. There we go.
Diet.
You and your diets.
Yes.
When
Stone
you-
shape.
When you make the crop grow, everybody pretty much flocks around you because this town is so small. They never relatively seen a druid.
Hi?
So, if you cast like a large creature on an animal, and then you killed it and ate it, at the expiration of the spell, would all the villagers get hungry again, or
I do not know.
or is it like you just ate like a really good meal?
I don't know. That's a hell of a question.
Or like, does it expire once the animal dies?
I don't know.
I think that's when you have to go. Like, does enlarge work on minutes per level, or hours per level, or rounds?
Looking it up.
Well, let's assume somehow you were able to cook or you were able to kill and then flash cook whatever the animal was. So it's like time of cooking really isn't an issue.
Animal grill.
Or like sushi, where it's like, if you know what you're doing, you can prepare it real quick.
1 minute per level, so 10 minutes to cook it and eat it.
It can be done. It can be done.
I just don't know. I don't think it would end up working.
Alright.
Sorry. You, as a cleric, you do have create food and water.
I do. Just not the same.
Just create food and water, you lazy bum. So this is a chance for Lucy to gather more followers to the Way of Gaia.
Okay. She explains what a druid is and the Church of Gaia.
Some of the farmers start asking even more questions.
I thought you were a cleric.
Becoming a little interested in it.
I'm a member of the Church of Gaia, which means I'm a cleric. It's important.
But you were describing to them what a druid is.
Because they ask what a druid is.
But she knows what I meant. You're describing a cleric able to use nature magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of the farmers mostly stick around to hear more of what you have to say.
I hold a sermon, then.
So, Krunk's getting a weapon and Lucy is holding a sermon. What's everyone else doing? And Menendez is in the John.
Yeah, we didn't need to hear that. that sounds like a personal issue for Menendez.
Yeah.
Apparently you were in a John.
No, in the John.
Yes.
I said Menendez was in the John.
Oh.
Okay.
Am I the only one taking that the wrong way?
No, I'm there with you.
God damn it. So Krunk's busy getting a weapon. Lucy is holding a sermon.
After casting plant growth and impressing everyone.
What's everybody else doing?
Having the first warm meal in weeks.
Menendez stopped by McDonald's on the way in and got a $1 large Coke, so he's...
Wait,
Theodore is...
Are these still like
Are
are these still like the morning hours and he gets like the hash brown as well? Or is
Yes.
it like lunchtime?
Fries.
It's
'Cause
lunchtime.
Theodore is stealing your fries.
Oh, okay. He's sharing.
Awesome.
So, a bunch of people recognize you as a cleric of Abadar. Figures from how well you're dressed from the city. So, a lot of people are coming to you pretty much asking for handouts in various ways. Is there any coffee you can spare? Is there any place in Magnamar we could go? We want help, cleric. Help us.
He mentions that the Church of Abadar can retain refugees for a while, as well as gives the name of a few shelters that, they're not necessarily in the best parts of town, but at least there's something. as well as makes a donation of how much do we have?
Some people start packing up as soon as you mentioned that the temple could take them in, or that there's places to go.
We're gonna have a refugee camp outside of Magnemar soon, aren't we?
Yep. This town pretty much went through the events of the 97 flood.
So, we have about...
Including a gigantic creature crashing through it.
Yeah.
So we have about, 1,256 in gold. I think we could spare a donation of 50 to the local church to help with restoration efforts. So, that's what we do.
1,000 of that would go to Cronk's axe.
1,000 of our funds.
Yes.
Which would take us down to 206 gold
Or at
and
this point,
28 copper.
probably trade for it.
Oh, they'll happily trade. They'll happily trade for it, especially since you got two people capable of making food materialize out of nothing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we trade them for services of creating food?
Yep.
Well, I think... What do I have?
I
here?
think food and water is a Orsian spell, or however.
Well, I have purified food and drink, so they bring like
Ah.
shit that's been ruined in the floods, and I'm just boop, boop,
I
boop,
think
boop,
I have
boop.
that too, actually. Purify.
So you do that enough times, and the weaponsmith is like, "Here you go. This thing's
Awesome.
practically useless right now until the town gets up and running again."
Create water.
And
Right.
Purify food and drink.
And you still have the situation of preparing yourselves for travel up the mountain.
I'm assuming that people moving on, moving to a next town, aren't necessarily going to take everything with them, right?
Not really, no.
So that means that there should be plenty of like blankets and stuff left behind, right?
Yeah.
Ah, there it is. I lost my character sheet for a moment. I'm good.
So it's about midday, close to evening.
Theodore is stealing, like, boots and coats and hand warmers and, matches and alcohol and hoarding it.
Alrighty then.
Hand warmers, or I said that already. Heating pads.
So I take it all the town's transportation is being lent to local use to get everyone to Magnemar, right?
Yes.
There wouldn't be anyone who could take us up to Bitter Hollow.
No. Especially since it means passing close to the Creekwood, and nobody really feels like dealing with ogres on top of everything else. They're like, we could spare some horses that could get you there until you have to start traversing the mountain itself, but no one really feels up to going anywhere near those woods. It's bad enough we gotta make the trip to Magnemar. That's going to take everyone a couple days, if not a week.
Oh, looks like we're hoofing it. So, Kronk, you know something about these areas?
I live north of here, don't know much of this area.
Alright. Lucy and myself will take point. I want Crunk and Leary as support. Rear guard will consist of Theodore and Menides. Lucy, no pun intended. You're our Pathfinder.
Okay. Should I roll survival?
You can if you want.
Because I have a 21 on it.
Yeah. It would help you pretty much make camp at safe places, be able to keep yourselves stocked on food and drinkable water.
Okay.
And if you roll high enough, you would even be able to avoid ogre trails, meaning they would hunt in that area.
9 plus 21.
Right, so you're able to recognize where ogres usually traverse as you're making your way to Bitter Hollow. Which means, hey, we're going to stay away from this area and go this way instead. So during the couple of days you have to make camp, you all go relatively unmolested by any dangers of the woods. And when you... What is Bitter Hollow anyway? What are we even saying here? Because I'm actually wondering if that's some type of town or if it's
Hookers
just,
and blow.
or it's just a crossing. Bitter Hollow is a filthy, remote trope of about 50 hunters and trappers and their families. A single trading post called the Gator's Nest sits in the center of this settlement, and regular trade with the gnomes of the nearby Sanus Forest means that there are often unexpected items for purchase here. So, you all go into a throwback watering hole, pretty much. Filled with people that are mostly there just to trade the furs they've captured and get out.
So like these are the people who still have like the old like Coke and Pepsi machines that have like the old logos on them.
Yeah. And when you buy one and realize there's no bottle cap opener on the machine, they're like $10.
No, see, I know the trick to that. If you take out your keys and you use the teeth of them to pry like the little edges off, you could pop the bottle cap off like that.
Darn shady folk. So yeah, they all pretty much ignore your presence. They're just doing what they usually do.
Well, we have to make use of the shitter before we move on. So,
Theodora goes and finds warm things like furs and...
Well, there's plenty of furs for sale. I do not like the grin on the little dragon's face.
So, she's gonna roll for stealth. That's horrible.
Yeah.
19 plus 9.
So 28.
Stealth?
Yeah.
Yes!
She manages to snatch a few before anybody notices they're missing.
And shoves them down under the blankets and walks away whistling.
So do you all spend the night here or travel there?
probably be best to spend at least a night here, so we can wake up in the morning, get the most out of our daylight hours.
Yep.
Now, since this is the kind of trading post that it's described to be, your only choice of sleep is either wherever you choose to lay down at your own risk, or there's the inn/brothel. Which, of course, means going through a lobby of a bunch of women and some men offering their services.
Well, Leary kind of goes, well, I mean, I don't mean to condone this type of activity, but if it's the only rest available, I think we really aren't left with much of a choice. I have to take a massive shit, so I will be right back.
That's nice to know.
So
the madam pretty much offers the standard end rate, which Chapin, you got the core rule book.
I'm using it.
Yeah,
Before.
I'll get it real quick.
I know
You
it's
guys have internet.
yeah. I know it's silvers.
Cooperate.
Thunder.
And stay per day. 2 silver.
2 silver. So
Because it's a 4 in, right?
yeah.
So it would be 2 silver a night.
So yeah. The madam, a slightly older woman, says, "Well, if you're all not going to partake in any way, I can give you the usual 2 silver a night. If you do instead to partake, you get a discounted rate of 1 silver for the room, plus the cost of the company."
What do you mean, partake?
Crump pats Lucy on the arm and says, "Don't worry about it."
Okay.
I'll partake.
We do not offer services to animals.
I'm a pseudo-dragon.
You're not human. Well, you're not humanoid.
Does that matter?
Anybody? No!
She glowers.
We offer the right to refuse services. She points at a sign.
Theo's pouting.
So pretty much everybody has to divvy up 2 silver for a room.
It's fine.
And of course, since this is a poor constructed house and it's also a brothel, have fun trying to sleep. The walls are thin.
Wonderful music.
You're gay.
Yes! Yes!
I'm coming! I love it when you pick my butt.
High five.
Oh, I'm going to have to put an extra warning on this one when I post it to the Pathfinder group.
Sexually explicit material.
Yes.
Did you manage to catch that one?
Yes.
Okay.
I got it.
Alrighty then. So, when morning comes and you get the knock on the door, rate ends at noon. Either pack up or pay for another day.
I assume we pack up and move on, but
We don't know
evidently
what.
Stan really had to go.
Yeah.
So talk amongst yourselves while we're waiting for the rest of our players to come back.
Because I have a feeling that there are things that they want to do, maybe. You know. I don't know.
That was just purely insane.
Theodora is sneaking around and, like, peeking in.
I'm I'm just going to let your imagination run with that.
That's awfully dangerous, letting my imagination run with things.
I assume you heard it.
So what's been going on with you guys?
That good, huh?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Evidently, that room was his.
Oh boy.
Mary's sipping on tea.
Oh boy.
So yeah, the madam came by and said it's almost noon. Either pack up and leave or pay for another day.
We wouldn't have waited that long.
Well,
Dawn breaks. That's when adventurers set out.
yep.
Unless they have hangovers.
So, it's going to take you all about another 2.5 days until you reach the mountain. And, so, here's where it starts to get interesting. With a 10,000 foot climb ahead of you, it's going to take you guys 3 hours to make it to where the cave is, which is a half a mile away from the peak.
Really? Okay.
So,
I have 6 endure elements.
hour number 1, everybody make a climb check. They gotta beat a 15.
Can it be assumed that we bought climbing supplies?
Sure. That'll give you all like a plus 2 to the roll.
That's good.
Lucy's getting better at climbing. 12, 13, 16, 17, 18. And Theo just flies.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, she has wings.
Eventually, the cold and elements start getting her, though.
Endure elements.
There you go. Plus, Lucy is able to wild shape 1 more time per day, so if she fails, that's always a nice save for her.
Crunk climbs at 31.
Alright.
Menendez is 17.
I just give you 2 fate points and say they make it.
Okay.
Alright. Hey, they make it.
Yay!
Hour number 2. Go ahead and roll.
Menendez 20. Crunk 15.
Lucy doesn't make it.
Basically, if you don't make the check, you're just delayed an additional hour to make that climb up. So, failing doesn't cause you to fall or anything.
Okay. So Lucy's going really slow.
I mean, since the squad is only as fast as the slowest member.
But Lucy failed to roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone else?
Made it.
So your 3-hour journey now became a 4-hour journey.
Hey, I can have spider climb.
Do you use that or wait?
I wait.
So now during the 3rd interval of the journey.
Yep. So, 3rd hour. Make a climb check again.
Let's see.
And now the wind is starting to pick up and the temperature is starting to set in.
Can Lyri make use of 2 uses of her levitate spell for herself and Stan?
Sure.
Okay.
13?
Delayed another hour.
Spider climb.
It's good enough for these two make it.
Alright, so Lucy no longer has to make climb checks. She is climbing up the side of this wall like a spider. And everyone else made it, right?
Yep.
So, 4th hour, you're all good. So, it takes you all 4 hours to climb near the top of this mountain. It's now... The sun is pretty much setting behind you as I bring you over to this.
The giant black screen.
And I also need to bring over characters, so let me grab those real quick from the last page we used. So hold out for me 1 second.
Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a treat.
I find it illogical for you to be climbing the mountain, Captain.
Could we have just taken the fucking escalator?
I was doing the bad thing of referencing Star Trek 5.
Oh, that one. Oh, no.
Where William Shatner decides to free climb a mountain and Leonard Nimoy just comes up behind him. Why are you climbing this mountain? Because it's here.
And Leonard Nimoy had rocket boots.
Yeah.
I want to remind all Trekkies out there that the great Leonard Nimoy, at one point,
Had rocket boots.
had rocket boots.
So, let's see. I need to give
Yeah.
Will control over Lucy's token.
Assuming direct control. So, Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah, Lando. And
Hello, what do we have here?
Theodora. So, now you all should be able to see something, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You all make it to the crest of this mountain. Constant flurries of wind-borne snow and frost lash at a gaping hole in the side of Hook Mountain. Smoke pours forth from the cave entrance, only to be instantly dispersed by the wind. And as you're climbing over the edge, you happen to see that there are 2 ogres standing watch outside of the cave, just pretty much picking up the snow, drawing random whatever in the snow.
Are they spelling their names with the urine streams?
Yes.
Awesome.
Call lightning?
If you want it.
Well, actually, electricity doesn't travel up the urine. See, because actually, when urine comes out, it comes out in individual droplets. It's not a continuous stream. So,
Like you learned from Mythbusters.
so the electricity can't travel up the stream
I
to your
see.
urine.
So does Lucy cast Call Lightning on it?
There's not really going to be a lot of outside combat, so yeah.
Alright, so you all hunker down in the snow as she works her magic. Go ahead and they get to make reflex saves to them.
18 is the DC.
Alright. They both don't make it. They're completely unbeknownst of what's happening. Roll that damage.
Six.
6 damage per lightning bolt. How many lightning bolts do they get hit with?
2 each.
Alright. So they each take...
I could roll per lightning bolt.
Do you want to?
Yes.
Alright.
That wasn't a very good roll.
So one takes 6 damage.
6.
Another 6 damage.
Oh, there we go. 5, 6. 13.
The other guy takes 13 and...
5.
So, accidentally struck by lightning, it sends them into a panic frenzy. But considering they do not recognize magic, when it happens to them, they're just like, they just kind of, we should step inside from store. Yeah, step inside from store. So they both go into the cave.
Okay. How many do I get?
Anyone else?
So, we're forming up at the entrance here. We kind of choose which place on the ledge we come up on.
Yeah.
Because if so, we should try to come up over. Do I do the ping? There we go.
Yeah.
Over there. So.
I'll go ahead and move you guys over.
I still have a whole bunch of bolts.
Those will unfortunately stay in the outside area.
This spell functions indoors.
Oh, it does function indoors. So those bolts will travel inside with you.
Sort of like how in some games you could cast meteor, and it's like, I don't know where the fuck the meteors are coming from. I got a roof over my head, but...
Well, eventually when you get inside this place, you'll see that the passageways are 25 feet high, and some of the caverns tend to have a dome-like ceiling that's 50 foot high. So the mouth of this cave is 25 feet high from the ground.
I mean, we could just start yelling racial obscenities down there until they come out.
True.
I mean,
It's possible. Do you guys... Are we going in or staying out?
I feel like we probably have to go in at some point.
At some point.
yeah, but as long as we're here, we can fight them outside on our terms. So,
I can wiggle my tail at them.
Perhaps that wouldn't be a bad idea. Lure them out.
alright.
Theodora goes to the opening. Okay, waits.
Alright. Kronk and Metades form the front line here. Followed by Stanton and Leary, Theodora, or Stanton, Leary, Lucy in the back. Theodora makes the move out here, where she could be seen easily from people inside the cave. They come out into this general area. We come in and flank them. Sound good? You all on board? Alright.
Alright, so what does Theodora do when she gets into place?
Hey! Stupid heads!
You do something?
Before she goes out, Mendez whispers to Theodora a racial slur in Giant that would very much aggravate them.
She yells it as loud as she can. Over and over.
One second. I gotta answer something. Anyway, so upon hearing that, they kind of growl let out a very loud growl as they both come charging out towards her. So, do you all just let them reach Theodora, or what happens?
4 more bolts. 2 each.
All right. The one on the left side of the screen makes the save, so he only takes half damage.
5, 10,
So,
9, 12.
So getting struck by lightning again stops them in their tracks. They're like, "What is going on here? Lightning don't strike like that!"
Act 4.
And you guys are still in surprise round mode, so everybody else can still do something.
I know that this is completely out of any sort of initiative order, but I'm assuming that Menendez and Krunk, being the front lines, would get the first.
Yeah. So, come in and rage, naturally, and attack. So let's see, he's raging, who's the torture? Okay, so this is plus 17, so a 28 to hit.
Yeah.
Uh, 27 damage. Menendez will move in behind it, and he will attack. Doing nothing special. So
Brothers, nobody has blinded me. Odyssey. The,
Yes, I remember that.
17 to hit.
17 does not hit. So Menendez misses. Who else?
1 more lightning to each. And that raises up all of the lightning.
One ends up saving again.
16,
So
6.
Still alive.
Still alive. Did you roll for both lightning bolts or just the one?
I rolled for both.
Alright. Okay. So, Stanton going to move up and channel the crap out of negative energy.
Alright.
They have to beat a 22 on a will save.
right got a 25. And the one on the left only got a 15.
Alright. 5d6. Commandant, may I borrow your Dankeschön, Madam Herr. So let's see. It's 15 to each. Well, except for the one that's
The one takes 7. The other one takes 15. And we're still kicking.
Alright, and
Larry gets to do something, then we gotta go to initiative.
alright.
Unless she can kill them.
How they looking?
Oh. One's pretty much, one is at half. The other one is below half.
Alright. Well, let's see.
We're so surprised.
Just gonna use. Let's see. Does she? She does. Good. She's going to use a still scorching ray.
Alright.
The one farthest is the one that's hurt most.
The one, this guy is the one that's hurt the most.
Alright. Looks like Menendez and Kronk have that one taken care of. She's going to target the far one with both. So let's see.
It has to be the 10 on a touch.
Alright. She receives a +8, so got it, and got it.
Alright.
So it's gonna roll all 8d6 at once. I know, fancy, right?
Yeah. It's so scorching.
Okay, well. It's 32.
I knocked him down pretty hard, but he's still not enough yet.
Alright, well.
So now we gotta go into initiative. So, Stanton and Lear.
I have not rolled yet.
Okay. Because I'm going around the city.
Alright.
And you pass to your left-hand side.
Stanton gets an 18. Leary gets a 14.
Lucy,
18.
Stanton, you have the higher dex, right?
Yeah.
I have a dex of not.
I have 10.
So, we're the
Roll
same.
off.
Who can go first?
Yay! Alright.
That puts Lucy below the ogres.
I might need that again.
Kronk and Menendez.
Both 22, Menendez wins.
And descending. So, Menendez.
Surprise, Menendez goes first.
I know, huh?
What are we referencing?
That's, George Lopez.
Going to attack, so we've got
Comedian.
I know, but...
plus 17, plus 12. Critical threat there. So that's a crit, so this is, does a... Well, we'll finish that one first. So, the crit does, not anything fancy, so 34 damage.
Almost.
Alright, so
He's
his
clinging to life.
second attack was 23 to hit.
Yeah.
For
Let's see how much you kill him.
17 damage.
That's a lot. So, they gotta come. Yeah, so he's down and bleeding out. And that brings it to Crunk.
Crunk. Oops. It's going to he's just going to attack.
Is he going to
is.
move to him or charge him?
He's standing right next to it.
That's the one that Menendez fell.
Oh, he's going to 5-foot step.
Yeah.
And so, let's see, we're raging. So we got plus 16 plus 9. So, 22 and 19.
The 22 will hit. Okay. Not the 19.
Jesus.
These ogres are level 5 fighters.
29 damage.
That drops him as well. When he witnessed his friend fall, he's just about to start yelling into the cave until Crunk manages to slice him open and drop him as well. So far, except for the wind, everything is quiet.
So, can we just dump the bodies off the cliff?
If you want to carry that.
These are giant-sized creatures.
Actually, Menendez.
I loot the bodies.
There's nothing on them except their weapons.
How much do they weigh? Does it say?
It wouldn't say.
Are they fat? I collect their blubber.
Page 220. Let's see what their bestiary entry says.
It's cold up here.
So Theodora is skinning them for their fat.
Menendez casts a spark right next to Theodora.
Warm.
A typical adult ogre stands 10 feet tall and weighs roughly 650 pounds.
Oh. Well, in that case, Crunk and Menendez each pick one up and throw it off the side. Yes, Menendez can pick up that much.
Stan's like, alright. Team effort.
Despite having a 10 on his string.
Go
Hooray, Muleback chords.
team go. And Kronk, of course, has to give Lucy a wink as he's picking up a 650-pound dead weight.
She blushes a little bit.
Menendez struggles, Kronk doesn't.
Yeah. We hope you. What's Menendez and Leary's knowledge arcane checks.
Menendez is at 19.
Leary's is 16.
So now that the ogres are cleared, both Leary and Menendez recognize the rib cage looking skeletons lining the sides of this entranceway but once belonged to a blue dragon. And there are even carvings amongst the bones of a 7-pointed star.
Fantastic.
Alright.
So far, the only thing lighting your all's way is the sun still creeping into as much of the cave as it can.
Menendez.
And Menendez.
Stanton has light, and Leary has light.
Theodora pees on the skeleton.
Menendez already has his 40 feet. Leary will get her 40 feet.
I have a flare spell. In case we need a flare.
Flare is for,
I know.
and Stanton too.
Yeah. I have no memory of this place.
Just know that light can be seen.
Well, I mean, I figured we weren't exactly going to be that stealthy. We're a group of 6 people who just murdered 2 ogres.
Yeah.
Subtlety is not on our side here.
Yeah.
At the mouth of darkness, jagged spurs of bone protrude from the stone on either side of the cave entrance, each towering 20 feet in height. Apparently the ribs of some monstrous behemoth, which you've discovered to be a blue dragon. And further in, where it says D3, you have an enormous statue standing in frozen vigil. A 40-foot tall giant with black skin, covered by fissures and cracks like the bed of a dried river. He wears majestic armor, gilded and encrusted with gems, and grips a towering glaive in his armored fists.
I steal it.
The giant's face is hidden by a ferocious full helm forged into a sneering grimace of a fanged devil. Around the giant's neck hangs a medallion with a 7-pointed star on it. And anybody who's arcane is able to feel a slight magical aura coming from the medallion. And yes, Theodora is trying to pick the gems off of the statue.
Is that like the picture of like the first like advanced D&D book with the thief trying to like pry the gem out of the statue's eyes?
Yeah.
Nice. So
And next to the statue would be stairs heading up once you all make your way in there.
I'm assuming that Crunk and Menendez are on point. Followed by Leary and Stanton, and bringing up the rear, Lucy and Theo, except for the fact that Theo has run ahead and is trying to pry things off of the statue. Oh, God damn it. There we go. I hate touchpads. They're the worst fucking thing on the planet.
They really are.
Yeah.
What is it?
Touchpads
Yeah.
on laptops. So it takes Lucy a good few minutes to pry those gems off.
You mean Theodora?
Theodore, yeah.
While she's doing that, Menendez casts invisibility on himself.
Okay.
Tells the rest of the group to wait here. And goes
So he died.
Yeah.
quietly stealthing forward.
Alright. The first thing he would go past is a deep pit hewn with hard stone, descending into soot and darkness, and there's a stale reek of decay reaching up from the depths below.
before he goes invisible, he takes the alm stone and puts it in his bag. So ignore the light.
So with his light gone, he may find himself in pitch darkness because there's no other light source in the cave.
Okay. So you can see there, but that would be as far as he would be able to tell.
So right now, Menendez is effectively roaming this cave blind.
So after he gets that far ahead, he comes back.
Does he let his ion stone out again?
Yes.
The air is less foul in this direction. Ever don't follow you.
Well, he'll come to here and look down that way.
There are stairs that go upward, and he's able to see an ogre standing guard
Okay.
at the top of those steps.
Alright, so he goes back and whispers this to Kronk. Must have just covered it.
Now, it's 9:56. Do you all want to continue or hold off?
I am getting sleepy. But it's up to you guys.
Good for whatever.
Great. I think this is a good place to leave off.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. So we'll pick up next week with you all diving into
Certain death.
Yep.
Yay!
Which I should also mention, this happens to be near the conclusion of this chapter.
Alrighty.
Cool.
So,
By the way, he's stealthing at 33.
they aren't going to hear shit from him. So, comments, concerns, or anything before we go shop and divvy out experience points.
I can cast Call Lightning inside.
Awesome.
I didn't know that.
Druids are awesome.
Yes.
But everything is awesome.
Yep.
Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome. Living on a dream.
And
It's awesome.
And on that, we will see you all next week for hopefully the end of chapter 3, book 3.
It might take us a session or two, especially if there's a lot of dungeons to get through.
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, good night, everyone.
No.
So